Praise be Jesus Christ. The most important thing that anyone must remember when they're trying to become a saint is one very simple thing. It's to trust in God. To trust in God in everything. Forget about your problems. Forget about your desires. Forget about yourself. Just lay your confidence in God. This is the most simple thing. It's so simple. You just forget about yourself and you trust in God, right? Very simple. It's actually more simple than if we take all our matters into our own hands, because then we get confused, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. It's very simple. However, it's not easy. We as humans, we're so connected to our wills. Our will is one of our powers of our soul, so we're so integrated in that sense. What we want is what we want, and our pride just wants our will to be done. But I think one of the greatest sacrifices to our Lord that you can give Him is to submit your will to Him. Give Him your heart, your will. That's how sometimes people reference the will. Writers, poets, whatever. They say that the will is the heart. It's what you desire. That is what our Lord Jesus Christ wants from you. Yes, you can fast. You can give up sweets for Lent. You can give up video games. You can give up all these things to make sacrifices to the Lord. But the more important sacrifice that one should do is sacrifice your will to the Lord. It's the most essential. Because if we don't trust in the Lord, then we're basically saying, Lord, I can save myself, not you. And there's only one name by which we can be saved. Only through the Lord can we attain salvation. And only can we attain salvation when we trust in Him. Now, at Mass, this is what we can offer up to our Lord, especially during the offertory part of the Mass, or at communion. We can say, Lord, this is what I bring to you. I may not bring to you the greatest efforts, the greatest achievements, the greatest saintly things, but what I can give you is my will. I can align my desires with yours. I can give you my heart while you're on the cross, dying. And I could show you that I love you. St. Francis de Sales, in his introduction to the devout life, he makes an analogy between our Lord on the cross and our reaction to Him. He says we can be like as if there's a child, and he sees his mother suffering, and his mother's asking him for an apple or a candy. That's what he says in the book. His mother's asking him for something to ease her pain. But the child, super sad that her mom is suffering, fails to give her something to help her. He doesn't give her this apple, this treat, but he just holds it on to himself, but keeps crying for his mother. This is illogical. This is how we can be sometimes when we see Christ on the cross, suffering immensely. We might shed tears while watching the Passion, but is that all we're going to do? Are we just going to let our emotions make us feel better about ourselves, but not give back to the Lord? Our Lord is opening His arms on the cross. He's asking us for ourselves, for us to give ourselves to Him, for us to give the sacrifice of the will to Him. He gave us the example. Father, not my will, but thine be done. That's what we got to do. It's difficult, especially when you get caught up and you get deceived by the devil. The devil is going to say, you need to be thinking about this, you got to be thinking about that, you got to be thinking about this. He's going to say you got to be thinking about spiritual problems, family problems, problems that are in your life and they're overwhelming you. And it's not bad to think about these things, but he's going to want you to think continually about them instead of thinking about God. Sometimes these things that look good can just distract us about God. Our Lord wants us to think about Him, to align our wills with Him, to forget about everything and just give Him ourselves. This is the number one greatest sacrifice, the greatest fasting that you can do. Praise be the name of God forever.